They don't learn. This tactic has not worked and will never work. So why they continue to do this is beyond me. So Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 creative director Daniel Vavra echoes Kelly Sue DeConnick. Don't buy the game. You know, whenever someone says don't buy the game, or if it's not for you, or, you know, don't watch them, what happens? What happens? People were like, okay. And then when the movie or game fails, what happens? What? I don't understand why no one played the game. Well, maybe because you're telling people not to play it, dumbass. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 creative director Daniel Vavra recently told one possible customer, "Don't buy the game," when when asked about if it was necessary to include graphic depiction of sodomy in the game. Exactly. Everyone, I've said this before. It's like sex scenes in movies. People are just tired of them. Like, if there's no reason for it to be there, don't have it in there. These people are human beings, and these movies take place generally in a real world type situation. Like, we know that they're gonna have sex. We don't need to see it. You know, we don't need to. We know that they go to the bathroom. You know, we know that sometime during the day or their week, they're gonna have to sit down and take a shit. We don't have to see them doing it though. So why spend, you know, in a game however much money to program a fucking sex scene, or in movies? Like I've said, sometimes 5 minutes alone are dedicated to just watching them go at each other and raw dog. It's like, is that necessary? Like, sex is great, I get it, but you're sitting in a movie for an hour and a half, and 5 minutes of that is being taken up by it's like, is that necessary? So this person has a valid criticism, and there's Mr. fucking big tough guy over here, "Oh, don't buy the game." On Twitter, user Miss Avon questioned Vavra about the necessity of including a graphic depiction of sodomy in the game. Right, it says, "Don't buy the game." Yeah, ooh, Mr. Big, strong, tough guy over here. They don't buy the game. Vavra comments will sound familiar to Marvel comic readers, given it is what writer Kelly Sue DeConnick told Sci-Fi Wire back in 2017. She said, "If you don't like my politics, don't buy my book." You know, and sometimes even when people do have the same politics as you, seeing how you're going about it and telling people like, "Don't buy it," they're gonna see that and be like, you know what? I was gonna buy your crap, but hearing how you speak to people, nah. I mean, I agree with you politically, but I don't like how you treat the base, the customer base. So I'm not gonna buy your product either. And then again, when these things fail, like, "Oh my god, I don't know how this happened," shocked Pikachu face. Later in the interview, she said, "I'm going to make the book that I'm going to make, and if you don't want to read them, then don't read them." By 2019, DeConnick was lamenting the state of her comic book industry, telling Nerd News, "From our perspective, the industry has contracted, and we're very worried about comics right now. So it's always interesting to me that the outside perspective is always comics are booming. Well, maybe you've learned to shut your fucking mouth and not say, yeah, if you don't like it, don't buy it." Then maybe your books would have been doing a lot better. All you have to do is shut your mouth and just write your comics. She later said it. Stated, "I think I tend to be pretty optimistic, but in this one, I'm worried. I'm straight worried." Asked to elaborate, "Because stores are closing at a phenomenal rate. Independent comic sales are down. Mainstream comic sales are down, except for the top 3 or 5 books are except the top 3 or 5 books are up. Everything in the mid list is way down." numbers that used to be numbers that would get you canceled are now like, no, that's a hit. Independent books making back the cost of doing floppies is like names that should be able to do it no sweat are going into red on singles and not coming out until the trades, and it worries me. Oh boy, our favorite Doctor Who. DeConnick's not the only one to make such comments. More recently, Doctor Who actor Ncuti Gatwa told Variety that people who did not like his casting should not watch. Turn off the TV, go and touch grass, please, for God's sake. And then guess what happens? The viewership goes down, and then they wonder where everyone is. Touching grass. Potential viewers seemingly took his advice, as his return as a Doctor has posted the worst ratings in the series' entire history. The season finale only garnered 2.25 million views overnight and only achieved 3.60 nice 69 million viewers after a week. Yeah, and I covered this too. Covered this when it happened. The dude says, "I go touch grass," and blah, blah, blah. And then when people don't watch this shitty fucking show, they're like, "Oh, what happened? Why are the numbers so bad?" Well, because people are touching grass. Maybe don't tell the people who you rely on for those numbers. Maybe not attack them, and certainly don't tell them to go touch grass, because it's the nerds who are keeping your show afloat. Just saying. So maybe you shouldn't be telling the nerds who are watching your show to go touch grass. You know? At one point, the show barely achieved over 2 million viewers with the penultimate episode. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Season finale, 2.25 million. Okay, that was for overnight. Does it? No. But yeah, these are basically like, actually, I think they're worse than Jodie Whittaker numbers. Penultimate episode only bringing in 2.2 million. Yeah. I think those are actually worse than Jodie Whittaker's numbers. I think even Jodie Whittaker was getting like 2.6 or whatever million. But the fact that this dude's getting worse than Jodie Whittaker, that's pathetic. That's pathetic. It is unclear if Avra's comments will affect. Tell me a moment where someone's come out and said, if you don't like it, don't buy it, where it's ended up selling a lot more copies. Oh, wait. It hasn't happened. Every time some person comes out and opens their mouth and says, it's not for you, or if you don't like it, don't buy it, or whatever. The people who have already bought it will tend to want refunds. Potential customers will see how you're talking to the customer, to already established customers, and say, well, I'm not going to support a person who comes out and talks to their customers like this. So, gee, I don't know. Is it going to sell more copies? Warhorse Studios already recently announced that the game has sold 1 million copies already. Given these sales numbers, it is clear that wokeism is unlikely to be defeated by simply speaking out against it and closing one's wallet to it. Yeah. Is there no comments? It's a shame. I always look forward to Bunny with a keyboard. But we've seen this numerous times, whether it be movies or comics or games or TV shows, of if you don't like it, don't watch it. It's not meant for you, and blah, blah, blah. And then what happens? The views tank, the game doesn't sell, and then these corporations, these companies are like, oh my God, how can this happen to me? I've made my mistakes. Got nowhere to run. No, you know, they act like it's something that, you know, is completely unknown to them, and they didn't see it coming. Like they were blindsided by this. Like, oh my God, how did this happen? Gee, oh, I don't know. Maybe it's you going on social media and bashing your customers, telling them if you don't like it, don't buy it. It's not meant for you, and calling them every matter of phobos and ism in the book. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with that. I'm spitballing here to see what sticks, but it's probably that. When you berate your customers, when you go all in Kurigawa and be like, oh, go touch grass, and then wonder where all the viewers are. We're touching grass. I mean, there's really not much grass to touch right now. It's winter time, so all the grass is dead and dry. But, I mean, we can still go touch dead grass. So, we don't have... we're in no position to be losing anything. We're not the ones losing money here. We're not the ones losing the money here. We're not the ones at risk of going out of business. So, if you people want to keep coming out and telling the customer, don't like it, don't buy it, it's not meant for you, and just trying to insult us by calling us phobe, ism, basement dweller, chuds, whatever, go ahead. We're not the ones at risk here. You're the ones in the business. We have nothing to lose. You do. But sure, if you want to keep going with this apparent winning strategy, go ahead. That's on you. And then in a month or so, when you have to start laying people off, you don't sit there and wonder why. Don't sit there and act confused and surprised like, oh my God, how did this happen? We are telling you how it's happening. And yet you people are too fucking stupid to learn from it. Instead, let's just stick it to the chuds no matter what. Let's just keep putting good people at risk of losing their jobs because we want to stick it to those basement dwelling chuds. Okay. See how well that works out for you. Again, we're not at risk of losing anything here. But go ahead. Go ahead. Keep doing it. It's certainly worked out for the industry so far. But anyway, that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.